Hi, I'm Chiran Harshan Madhusankar. Friends call me Chiran. I live in Kalawan. I'm a student who has a face for the oral examination in 2021. This day, I follow an English course, Daban course, and I go to my A-level classes. I study commerce for A-level. My subjects are accounting, econ, and business study. Mm, what I talk about my life, I can't forget sports because I am athletic. My events are 100 meter and 200 meters. Uh, ah, by the way, I can't forget to speak my hobbies. I have many hobbies. I spend my free time with my hobbies. There are watching movies, traveling, gardening, reading book, riding bicycle, and blah blah blah. I most like watching movies. My favorite movie is Fury. It's very hard action. Wow. And I do not only watching movies but also traveling because I was lucky to see many places in our country. However, as a matter of fact, I just want um, learn. Therefore, I work hard to study. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, my name is Sunny Dilshan. I'm 17 plus. My friend called me Dilshan. I live in Kalawan and Kalawan is very cool town. I love to live in there. I have been living there for 16 years. I live in a detached house with my parents. I have always lived with them actually. I'm a student. Uh, I am going to face the 2024 A-level examination, and actually these days I waiting for my O-level examination results, and I following a English course. Also I chosen the commerce section for my A-level, and I go to A-level classes. My subjects are accounting, econ, and business studies. My dad name is Mr. Pial Chandimal, and he is a businessman. My mom name is Mrs. Indrani Pushpakumari. She is a housewife. Happy to say they support to me a lot, and that's a strength to me. I have two dogs, and their names are Shane and Shaggy. They are Labrador models. They are very friendly and lovely. I love to graphic design, and web development. So I'm studying it. By the way, I forgot to tell my hobbies. I spend my leisure time with my dogs and working my hobbies. My hobbies are collecting stamps, watching movies, listening to music, and playing musical instruments. I love to listening music because music is a medicine to calms the mind. I am studying music, and I have participated and won the music competitions. My music teacher is Mr. Susanga. He helps, he supports me a lot in my music activities. I forgot to tell I can not only playing musical instrument but also singing. My mom wanted to see I'm progressing in mathematics, but I love to commerce because I want to be a businessman. That's why I work hard to make my dreams come true. Thank you.
This is a breaking news. The 8 partner parties of the Sri Lankan People Front have issued a joint statement signed by their representative. We pay the attention to that special announcement. Let me first mention that this statement has been issued by our People's Power Party, signed by Venaturli Ratanathero, Mr. Vimal Veeravansha on behalf of the National Freedom Front, Mr. Vasudeva Nanayakar on behalf of the Democratic Left Front, Mr. Tissavitarna on behalf of Lanka Samsamaj Front, Mr. L. Matawulla on behalf of the National Congress, Mr. G. Veerasinghe on behalf of Communist Party of Sri Lanka, Mr. Tiranalas on behalf of the United People's Party, and Mr. Asanka Navaratna on behalf of the People's Party of Sri Lanka have signed this special joint statement. The relevant announcement is as follows. This is how we start. We reject any attempt to place the responsibility for this unpopular decision to increase fuel price on the shoulders of Minister of Energy. This is due to the fact that the decision to increase fuel price was taken by the Cabinet Subcommittee on the Cost of Living, which met under the chairmanship of His Excellency the President and with the participation on Prime Minister. This was confirmed by President Media Unit recently. Against such a backdrop, MT Sagarakaryasam, who appointed the General Secretary of Sri Lanka People Front, has blamed Minister Udaya Gammanpil for the unpopular decision, thereby plugging the government into an unnecessary risk before the people. In such a background, in the leaders of the Sri Lankan People Front. Also, the General Secretary of the Sri Lankan People Front has challenged the decision taken by the President and the Prime Minister to raise the issue of factionalism in the government. We would also like to point out that such sectarian and extremist activities will eventually erode public confidence in the government. Therefore, we emphasize that it is the responsibility of His Excellency the President and His Excellency the Prime Minister to immediately defeat this sectarian trend. This is the special declaration signed by 8 partner parties of Sri Lankan People Front, our People's Party, National Freedom Front, Democratic Left Front, Lanka Samsamadi Party, National Congress, Communist Party of Sri Lanka, United People's Party, Sri Lankan People's Party are the signatories for this. We are ready to report further details of the decision that have taken between the political representatives regarding the fuel price at 7 p.m. in the main news.
Full text of the speech delivered by Ambassador Samantha Power at the event to mark 30 years of parliamentary politics of Mangal Samaravira is given below. I am extraordinarily honored to be here today. It is wonderful to be back in Sri Lanka for the first time since 2015 when I visited as a member of President Obama's cabinet. Sri Lanka has been a true partner for the United States, and I am grateful that many of the relationships I was able to form while working with your country have endured and become very meaningful friendships. Right now, I am in the final weeks of finishing writing a new book. I have been working non-stop to meet my deadline. I won't even leave my house to buy groceries. But if there is one person who could get me to travel over 8,000 miles at the moment, it is Mangal. Mangal is one of the most remarkable people I encountered during my 8 years serving in the US government, so I simply had to be part of this occasion.
Hello and welcome to Sri Lankan News. I'm Hirudini. We start with of the headline as usual. A student taking online classes on the back of the Kala weather. The 8 SNTT parties have condemned an attempt to impose the responsibility of raising oil prices on the Minister of Energy. Husband lifts up his pregnant wife in the middle of the flood. The government introduced the online system as a solution to education, which is greatly affected by the COVID epidemic. But it is a big problem for the students and teachers of Datasenapura Devar village. This is due to the lack of signal facilities required for these classes. So they have to come to the back of Kalawaba for their online classes. But it is disturbed by animals such as elephant. Young children, university students as well as teachers have to come to his place because they don't get their proper signal. Also, for night classes, the place has to be lighted. It is not easy to carry electricity at night to this place which is far away from the village's home. But children along with their parents are engaged in the difficult task with the determination to fulfill their ambitions. Also, the livelihood of the people of Devar village, which is a very difficult village, is a small occupation like farming. So, some parents are helpless to provide internet access to their children. As a solution, they work with children who have access to the internet to further their education. But that is not successful. This can lead to the spread of diseases among each other in the face of the current situation. Doctors say it can even cause physical harm to those children. The important thing is, authorities were notified several times but no response was forthcoming. The villagers urged the authorities to take immediate action in the regards. We met again with the Sri Lankan news. Have a nice day.
Good evening and welcome to Adadarana Evening News Broadcast. S.S. Kumara and Chandani, 28 of Kiniduma, Kodikanda State. There was a lot of talk about this couple during the recent floods. Chandani, a 7 months pregnant woman, hadn't seen any movement in her womb for 2 days and the midwife had told her to be hospitalized within 5 hours. S.S. Kumara, who was living with his wife and children, had a dream of getting a transport facility in the midst of the flood.
Because the COVID-19 pandemic, when it is isolated, active all over the country, the people who lived in Management Fishing Village in Dhatusena Puruvara in Kalavaga have come to near the Kalavaga, not for feel the freedom. It is for find internet connection for their children's online education. The children who come from a long distance face to different trouble like this. Not only the children but also teachers who teach them are coming to the near they set their mobile phones on trees and teach. Parents tell that the elephants are coming to this area so their children's life is in a very danger. The children who haven't money to buy phones have to connect their friends who have phones. They have complained to the officers but they haven't gave a solution yet. Because children addicted to the phones, online education, they face to different diseases.
Here's the special news we just received. Representatives of 8 partner parties of the Sri Lanka People's Front have issued a joint statement. We would like to draw your attention to that special statement. I will first mention that this statement has been issued by our People's Party when Aturali Ratanathero, Mr. Vimal Veeravansha on behalf of the National Freedom Front, Mr. Vasudeva Nanayakkara on behalf of the Democratic Left Front, Mr. Tissa Vitarana on behalf of the Lanka Samsamaja Party, Mr. ALM Atawullah on behalf of the National Congress, Mr. G. Vijayasinghe on behalf of the Communist Party of Sri Lanka, Mr. Tiran Alice on behalf of the United People's Party, and Mr. Asanka Navratna on behalf of the Sri Lanka People's Party have signed this special joint statement. We reject any attempt to place the responsibility for the unpopular decision on the price hike on the shoulders of the Ministry of Energy. The media has also confirmed this. Against such a backdrop, MP Sagar Karyabasam, who appointed the General Secretary of the Sri Lanka People's Front, has placed the blame for the unpopular decision on the Minister Udayagama Pillai, thereby plunging the government into an unnecessary crisis in the eyes of the people as well as the Sri Lanka People's Front. Challenging the decision of the President and the Prime Minister is sectarianism in the government. The doubt that is there has been put in front of the people. We would like to point out that such sectarian activities will eventually lead to the breakdown of public confidence in the government. Therefore, it is the responsibility of His Excellency, the President, the Prime Minister to immediately defeat this sectarian tendency. This is a special announcement. Our People's Party, Jatik Nidhas Peramuna, Democratic Left Front, Lanka Samaj Party, the National Congress, Sri Lanka Communist Party, United People's Party and Sri Lanka Mahajan Party have signed their petitions. We are ready to report more details on the conversations that have taken place between the political representatives of the town in the next 7 p.m. news bulletin.
Hi, I'm Ritika Sanu Karnasegar. I live in Ratnagura. I'm 16 years old. My father's name is Mr. Nidha Karnasegar and my mother's name is Mrs. Susanti Rohani. I'm the only child in my family.
වලාතීරයෙන් මෙහා කොහේද ලෝකය සොයාදින් පැතුම් විඳින් අපේම ලෝකය අපේම ලෝකයක් වලා